All right, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, December 27, 2023. The entire house is still sleeping, so I'm going to try to be a little bit quiet as I record this update. Hopefully, I didn't put any news articles or anything in here that was going to get me too fired up and excited, but we'll see. I'll do the best I can to keep it just calm, smooth delivery without getting worked up. Let's get it started. Taking a look at the charts here, Bitcoin back up to 43,000 this morning. Ethereum taking advantage of the pump here. Nice big green candle. These are daily candlesticks, by the way. Just looking a little bit zoomed out here, giving us a little perspective on where we are at, where we've been, and where we might be going next. For our XRP back up to 63 cents this morning. For XLM, up to 13 cents. Now, the rest of the space kind of cooling. Algorand had been hot. Quant had been hot. Quant making it all the way up to $150. Solana cooling back off down to 108. Yesterday it did get down to 102. Okay. Cooling off a little bit here. We just opened up. The market just opened up just about 30 minutes ago. About 7 o'clock on the West Coast, 10 o'clock Eastern. 101 for your DXY. So the DXY was back down, and we see crypto taking advantage of that and the stocks as well. Your 2-year back down to 4.283, with the 10-year down to 3.841. Now, we had seen the oil had actually rose back up over the last week or so, back up to $80 for our oil, and silver just hanging out sideways at $24 per ounce. And gold did climb yesterday, actually, climb back up here, 2,070. So gold kind of just been steadily climbing over the last week or so. Love to see that. And then the stock market did open up green this morning. These are fresh new candles. Nvidia coming back down right now as we speak, but we did see the rest of the stocks are back up this morning. S&P pushing towards a new all-time high, and Dow Jones really close to that all-time high. I believe this all-time high is right here. And then for the NASDAQ 100 as well. So they're all pushing new all-time highs to finish off 2023. We'll be watching that one very, very closely. I did want to show XDC did take advantage, back up to about 5 cents for XDC. Okay. So without further ado, let's keep it rocking and rolling, and let's get on into our update. Now we're getting started off here. Our first data point is going to be shots being fired in the Red Sea. This is our Navy firing anti-ship ballistic missiles to engage Yemeni Houthis in the Red Sea. The Navy engaged 3 ballistic missiles provided to Yemen Houthis by Iran. It was the first time the Navy shot down an incoming ballistic missile using an anti-ship ballistic missile. Nearly 100 drones operated by the Houthis have been shot down since October 17th. The group has attacked more than 21 international vessels in the region, which has disrupted global shipping. Watching for inflation to tick back up, watching for supply chain crisis to come on back, and of course we continue to pray for peace. Now, what is the mainstream media? What is the predictive programming these days? Well, now they are warning that 2024 may be the year of the Black Swan event. Well, that sounds similar to what we've been saying over here on this channel, doesn't it? This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. Let's take a listen in on this one. This is a CBS correspondent.
Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a Black Swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. There are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that. Not only this sort of enduring heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel, also Ukraine. And we're so divided in this country in ways that we haven't seen before. And I think that just creates fertile ground for our adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran. And that's what concerns me most. Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel like...
You know, it's an inconvenient truth. And I think that we have to confront the problems that we face, the challenges ahead of us. Nothing about this ride was just going to be smooth sailing to the end of the rainbow where we find our pot of gold. The stock pushing back up to all-time high. I'm about to show you guys the next data point is on U.S. home prices achieving an all-time high according to the Case-Shiller Index. And our cryptocurrencies have been pumping. But meanwhile, the world around us is on fire. We got World War III. We have internal chaos. We have an election cycle. And as the mainstream media knows, right, there's some issues that need to be kind of papered over or covered up that are taking place in this country. As the cabal falls, they're cannibalizing themselves and really exposing themselves the whole way down. And this is what is going to bring turbulence and volatility to our markets. For me, I'm just prepared with cash on my sideline so that I can move on these deals, whether it's crypto that I want to buy, private equity that we're looking at, and real estate that we're looking at. I'm going to be looking at attacking during this black swan event. Now, God willing, of course, we're not going to be caught up in it too much. We'll be able to, execute our strategy. But nonetheless, the threat remains there. Now, let's continue on. As I was saying, we have U.S. home prices achieving an all-time high in October, according to the Case-Shiller Index. U.S. home prices accelerated at their fastest annual rate of the year in October. So this tracks the Case-Shiller 20-City House Price Index rose a seasonally adjusted 0.6% in October compared with the previous month. Home prices in the 20 major U.S. metropolitan markets were up an average of 4.9% in the 12 months ending in October. A broader measure of home prices, the national index, rose by 0.6% in October and was also up 4.8% the past year. The 20-city and the national indexes are both at all-time high. So you can carve it up. You take a look at both these indexes, and they're both at all-time high. This Case-Shiller Index, has been used now for a few decades. Very popular. Polls from 20 different cities, and here are the cities. You have cities like Atlanta that are up 5%, Boston 6%, 6.9% for Chicago, New York up 7%. Portland, Oregon is down 0.6%. Phoenix only up 0.9%. Seattle only up 1.5%. Okay. And so this gives us a look. A separate report from the Federal Housing Finance Agency also showed that home prices rose 0.3% in October from the previous month and were up 6.3% in the past year. So when you look at all these, it does, tell us that home prices on average are back up according to this Case-Shiller Index, but we have to understand the Case-Shiller Index. And so I looked this up on Investopedia on what the Case-Shiller does and doesn't track. So really what the Case-Shiller is for single-family detached homes using the repeat sales method, which compares the sale price of a given property in successive transactions. That means new homes are not included. That means new homes must be bought and then resold before their prices can be included in the Case-Shiller example. So new home sales data is not included. Now, as you know, that's a big part of the market. Okay, so to exclude new home prices, you're really missing a big part of it, especially at a time right now where new home construction is at all-time highs, right? And so, and where we're seeing the biggest decline in home prices is in the new homes. And the more that those new home builders have to negotiate, bring down prices, offer incentives, offer rate buy downs, the more pressure that's going to put on the existing homes as well. Now, when you look at cities like Austin, when you look at cities like Phoenix, they are down overall. When you track all sales, they are down year over year. I believe that Austin is one of the worst, and then Phoenix also as well, and a few of these other cities are down substantially. But that is looking at all of the sales, not just looking at the Case-Shiller, which excludes new homes. And these are supposed to be arm's length sales transactions, those where the sales price reflects market value because the buyer and seller were each acting solely in their own best interest. So sales to family members, repossessions by banks at the start of the foreclosure process are excluded. So are sales where the property designation changes, for example, a single family home to condominium, or those with a price suggestive of a data heir. Foreclosure sales are included in the indexes because the foreclosing bank sale of a property counts as an arm's length transaction. So foreclosure sales are included. But the data does not include homes that have been sold more than once in a 6-month period, as historically and statistically suggestive of a non-arm's length transaction, a pending redevelopment or fraud. So basically, if someone's flipping a property, it is not included. The other big one that they're missing is condos. Condos and co-ops are not included in the three main Case-Shiller indexes. However, there are separate condo indexes that track condo prices in 5 major markets: Boston, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So as you can see, when you exclude new homes and when you exclude condos, new homes and condos, that's a big part of the market, right? I mean, it's like with the inflation data points that we take a look at. If you exclude housing, shelter, food and energy and used cars, what data point are you tracking? Are you even having a serious conversation? If you remove housing, food, and energy, what are we talking about? That's what you need to live in, and so when the Case-Shiller comes out, and this is a data point, one of the few stats that is preferred. It's kind of like the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. This is the real estate industry's preferred index of home prices. And of course, it's at all-time high prices. Meanwhile, when you look at the real data of all of the sales across these metros are down, 8, 10, even Austin down 18% year over year. New home prices are down, I believe it's about 18% year over year as well. And so this data point that excludes new homes and excludes condos, which are a big portion of our market these days, I don't think that you're getting as good of a look as we could. But as always, anything that doesn't make us feel warm and fuzzy inside, we just strip that out of any data point these days. We're not in a recession. Let's strip this out of the inflation gauge. Let's just talk about the Case-Shiller index, which shows U.S. homes at all-time high prices. We can run those headlines, even though when you actually look at the data, mortgage demand has fallen to levels that we haven't seen since 1994. Pending home sales are lower than the Great Financial Crisis. I can go on and on and on with all the data points that take us back to the Great Financial Crisis or worse. But hey, it's an inconvenient truth. We don't want to talk about that. Now, something that we do want to talk about and is getting exciting here is that we have crypto hedge funds gearing up for what they call a token mania. Now, this is a reversal of fortunes for an industry left reeling in 2022, and the approval of the first ever spot Bitcoin ETF seen offering boost. So yes, we are looking for the ETF approvals coming in January potentially. And this is starting to get everyone excited. And when you take a look at some of these hedge funds, some of them fell 80% in 2022, right? But Chainview Capital, the crypto hedge fund ran by 31-year-old Dan Slavin, has doubled after an 18% decline last year. So declined 18% in 2022, but now they've doubled up, okay? And then you have Stoka Global, which invests predominantly in so-called altcoins, gained 268% this year as of November 30th, according to the founder. So you have some of these funds that have actually, made over, three-digit percentage growth-wise, 100%, 200%, just within this last year. And so this is getting the crypto hedge funds ready for this token mania is what they're calling it. It's looking like there's going to be another token mania coming, Slavin said, adding to the mood in the crypto market this year felt a lot like 3 years ago when Bitcoin was on the cusp of a breakout that sent it soaring to record highs. So they've recovered after getting beat up in 2022. And what's interesting, though, is they do note that crypto hedge funds on average returned 44% this year as of December 20th, rebounding from a loss of 52% on average in 2022, according to a Bloomberg index tracking their performance. While that's the best among 29 strategies tracked by Bloomberg, it still trailed Bitcoin's gain for 2023 by about 120 percentage points. The index also underperformed passive crypto funds, which on average posted returns of about 265% in the past year. So, basically, they're noting that Bitcoin has outperformed a lot of these crypto hedge funds, that have been trying to trade in and out and make their deals. But nonetheless, the reason why I wanted to bring up this article here today is it just highlights the point that the big institutional money is coming in to control the space through the ETFs, and all the hedge funds now have already been in this space. They've already been trading, and they've been getting beat up too. See, just because they're early to the space like us, and as you know, we've been getting beat up too, right? That's part of being early, and that's part of being in a new asset class. And what we're seeing right now is they're getting all their ducks in a row so that it can be offered up for institutions, so that they can custody it for institutions, so that ETFs can be approved to offer to retail, to offer for 401ks and pensions. The crypto hedge funds are already stepping in, and they're already trying to find the biggest and best returns. And I think that it just reiterates the point that we're entering this next bull run with a new wave of liquidity that's coming in. This isn't going to be the same money that's been trading in the space. This isn't going to be just the same hedge funds that have already been in here. It's not going to be me and you that have been in this space for years, right? This is a new wave of institutional liquidity that is coming into the space, but we still have some challenges up ahead here, with Andrew saying that there is a quiet murmur within legal circles about the Bitcoin ETF approvals. Per Cash Create hardline from the SEC, expect a strong legal challenge at some point in the future from one or several firms. In kind is the commodity ETF standard. SEC is adding retail risk to spot Bitcoin ETFs. So the SEC is making it a per cash ETF, when the in kind is the commodity ETF standard. And so they're saying that the SEC is adding retail risk to spot Bitcoin ETFs, and that he wouldn't be surprised, or whoever he's talking to, whoever these conversations are coming from, wouldn't be surprised if Grayscale moves to take legal action first. Now, what was very interesting here lately is that we uncovered that Barry Silbert, the CEO of Grayscale, has actually stepped down from his post. So for whatever reason, you would think that in the middle of getting your Bitcoin spot ETF approved, that you'd probably want to stay on board, right? This is a good thing for you. This is a big deal. But Barry is out at Grayscale. So we'll continue to update you on that one. And we're expecting the ETF approvals to come in maybe at the first part here of January. So we got a lot to be excited for in 2024. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Is that Bitcoin spot ETF going to get approved, delayed, or denied? Is it going to be the year of the Black Swan? Let me know in the comments down below. We're definitely going to be looking to take advantage of any dip, any crash that we get in these markets. You know what we're going to be doing. And speaking of taking advantage of special offers, we are running a special offer through the end of this year for our Patreon Discord community. When you sign up for a 1-year membership, you can save 13%, and you can feel free to cancel at any time. If you want to just hop in for 1 month, try it out, you can do that as well. But if you want to sign up and save, you can save 13% on your annual membership fees. Right now, that special is running through the end of this year. So just go to my website, zachrector.com. We have all of our community resources available over there. If you're looking to get precious metals, you need some crypto exchanges, you need a wallet, we got you covered over there, and a lot more coming your way for 2024. I'm very, very excited. And so please, guys, if you appreciate our content, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, make sure you like it, make sure you share it, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.